May I present to you the unkillable tank full support build. This is busted. I can't believe it's not even nerfed, but hey, it's gonna make your apocalypse run with team or solo a lot easier with running this build. I kind of want to break it down how this medic summoner build just absolutely tanks all damage in the new DLC of Remnant 2. So how do you use this build? Why is it so strong? Well, before you enter a room of ads or a boss room, you're going to spawn your summon and pop your heal. That's going to start rocking your heals. If you look under your health bar, you'll start seeing a cooldown, a countdown. Please make sure that if that goes away, to pop another heart, because that is what's keeping you alive as the tank. If you end up running out of hearts, just shoot your summon to get more. Pretty much you're going to be cycling through your handgun and your primary weapon, rocking the nebula, rocking the merciless, throwing your throw axe at stuff, just because you're applying status effects to all the enemies to help you out with DPS. This build is so strong, the only reason you can die is the coded one-shots in the video game. So it literally, if it's not coded as a one-shot in a boss fight, you won't die. It's really good for support class because you can put on like corrosive rounds and twisting wounds on your weapons and apply bleed and corrosive for your teammates, and you could just run with 2 DPS builds and just melt bosses in seconds. I've seen bosses go down in 30 seconds or less. Absolutely insane. And when you're solo, like you see in the footage here, you're just tanking all the damage so you can learn the fight or just get an easy clear. Now there's going to be 2 different variants I'm showing you with different amulets and rings, but that's fine. You just have to swap out an amulet and a ring. And also I just want to point out that these trait cards are maxed out, so you do have to get the 20 points from the new DLC, but I will show the variant before you add the 20 points. So let's just say you're getting ready to regrind again and you have the 65 stat points that we started with. You can kind of pick and choose what you want to use. Starting off with the armor, we're going to be running the Lido Mark set, simply because you want to be able to tank armor and look like Buzz Lightyear. You're going to be using the Labyrinth gauntlets for arms though. On your resonating heart, you're going to be running armor, healing effectiveness, and health. On your medic, you're going to run Wellspring. That's going to give you your healing, and plus the medic class is going to make it so you can be so tanky. And on summon, you're going to run Minion Reaver, so you can have that big tanky summon up, because he's going to help you heal and also keep you alive to have unlimited amounts of resonating hearts to use. The more damage your minion takes, the more heals you can proc. Going on to your weapon, you can run Merciless if you have it, or just run any long gun with Twisted Wounds, so you can proc the bleed for yourself and your teammates. If you have the Krell axe, I would suggest running that, because when you throw your axe, it's going to proc overload for you and your teammates, also just give you free damage. But pretty much any melee weapon that can cause damage, like acid or whatever, use whatever you have. As your handgun, Nebula is kind of important because you can run the Nano Swarm on it, plus Kill Switch to give you some extra DPS. Going into the amulet, you're going to use a red dose sigil. This is going to give you increased relic healing for 30%, which doubles when your health is below 50%. So if you get hit by anything and your heals aren't proccing, this amulet is going to make sure that you are a tank. Ring of the Robust is going to give you more health and more armor to add to your damage effectiveness. Still, the Empress is going to give you an even larger health bar by 20, but it's going to take down your stamina, but we'll fix that very soon. I'm telling you, your health bar might be on the monitor next to you. Burden of the Divine Ring is huge. It's going all damage dealt by the wearer reduced by 10%. 50% of self-healing applies to allies. This is where it's going to heal your teammates nonstop. I'm telling you, I didn't die. Barely died in the apocalypse run. And then your Ring of Omens, it's going to evades cost 14% of max health as gray health instead of your stamina. So this is going to make you be really heavy in your build, but it's going to also give you the mobility to kind of move around and be able to evade stuff, so you're not just kind of walking Tonka truck. So getting hit by everything might be annoying because you're getting stun locked and the game can't kill you, but you know, this ring definitely helps you out. If you look to the right of the rings, it's going to show you the trait points, of which it's fully maxed out, and you can copy those simply for cooldowns, healing, damage reduction, and other uses for the build. If you'd like to see the other variant of this build, you're actually going to switch out your amulet. You're going to put on the Twisted Idol. Increases armor effectiveness 35% and reduces encumbrance by 15%. Then you're going to swap out your ring and put on Soul Link. Summons lifesteal 5% of base damage dealt, which returns to the wearer as health. But pretty much you're going to get more health for the solo. If you're just returning the game but you have the 65 stat trait points that you can put into your build because you don't have the 20 from the new DLC, I kind of just want to break that down. What you can go into, you're going to put 10 points into Fortify, 8 points into Expertise, 10 points into Bark Skin, 10 points into Blood Bond, 10 points into Revivalist, 10 points into Rugged, 8 points into Vigor, and 1 point will be Spirit Intrinsic. If you started playing the DLC and you're unlocking more trait points, I suggest putting these stats or working up to these stats. 10 points into Fortify, 8 points into Expertise, 10 points into Blood Bond, 10 points into Bark Skin, 10 points into Revivalist, 10 points to Rugged, 8 points to Vigor, 9 to Spirit, and 10 to Swiftness. Swiftness is huge. That's what's going to give you more speed to run around so you can go zoom zoom. So what you're seeing here is solo apocalypse boss fights. You're absolutely tanking this boss's damage, and yes, does it take longer to kill the boss because you're on a tank build? Of course it does, but the boss can't kill you, so you can easily just wind it down with some DPS, you cycling through your handgun and your long gun, and maybe even hitting a throw axe there, or hey, hell, just punch it. But it's really good for solo play, believe it or not. It could help you with your solo plays, but if you take this into team play, I'm telling you right now, your DPS builds won't die, and you can easily run over all the content. All I do is pretty much make sure that I keep that summon alive. Like me, if I see that summon out and I know someone's running that tank class, I try and make sure that that summon stays alive. Because if I'm fully juiced on my DPS class and I shoot that summon, I have a chance to kill it, so I gotta be careful. But I'm telling you, you and your friends will enjoy this. You will run over the game in Nightmare, Apocalypse, whatever you want to run. Hopefully you guys enjoy this build, and I have more builds coming. I'm gonna start working on some DPS, but I wanted to get this tank build out. Let me know down below in the comments what you guys think about this build, and hope you guys have a great day.
You're so